is Eric Tucker. This is my senior capstone. I'm going to be talking about reimagining the Japanese culture experience. Right here is a bio about me. We're going to be talking about the problem statement, hypothesis, market analysis, market size, demographics and psychographics, persona, competitors, potential user interviews, professional interviews, common interests, and next steps. So for my problem statement, in order for American users to better understand the history of Japanese culture, a product, system, or service must be created in a way that engages users more effectively than current products, systems, or services. And I would go about doing this through the use of historical figures throughout all time. For the hypothesis, by developing a product, system, or service for the purpose of educating users about the culture of Japan, I feel that it should educate, engage, or inform them about Japanese culture in a more fun, inviting, and friendly way. Now, the market analysis. There are many pieces to the puzzle when it comes to any one culture. For the culture of Japan, there are many cultural aspects and norms that are quite different from our own culture here in the US. There are probably things that are more familiar than others when it comes to Japanese culture, but at the same time, there are things that are similar to the way that things are over here as well. In order for us as Americans to better understand people that either enter our country or already live in our country and are of Japanese descent, we must be able to better understand the culture of their country. The product, system, or service that I plan on designing will hopefully allow Americans to do just that, but do it in a way that either hasn't been done before or hasn't been done good enough. The market size for this product, system, or service is basically all the American people who attend anime conventions. Anime Expo is one of the biggest anime conventions in the United States. And in 2019, there were over 350,000 attendees. Though some are not from America, this is still an event held in America, so the attendees that are from America will be viewing and interacting with it, thus allowing the product, system, or service to succeed in achieving its goal. There are currently over 300 plus anime conventions in the United States. At these conventions, fans that go will be able to cosplay if they choose to, and buy goods that are either Japanese goods or comic-related goods. Now the demographics and psychographics. The majority of anime fans are teenagers to 20-year-olds. This is because, unlike American animation, which is normally targeted towards children, anime is usually targeted towards teens and young adults. These are fans that are going to be attending anime conventions. I feel that it would be best that the target age range for these fans is 20 to 25 years old. This is because they would need to be able to come up with enough money for expensive tickets, possibly staying in a hotel, if they plan on going multiple days. And also the money to even be able to cosplay, if they do indeed cosplay. According to research done by interviewing potential users of the product, system, or service that I plan on designing, there are similarities and differences between different anime fans that cosplay. Cosplayers that are interested in Japanese culture tend to buy most of their clothing online, either from fast fashion websites or from websites that sell handmade or cosplay clothing. They also tend to cook their own food at home more often than eating at restaurants or fast food places, with most of the food that they cook being mostly Japanese food. This is the persona. Her name is Cassandra Davis. She's 23. Her occupation is a cosplay costume designer. Cassandra works designing and selling her cosplay costumes. She is single and lives in a one-bedroom apartment. Cassandra is an avid fan of Japanese culture and frequently attends anime conventions, where she is able to connect with people that share similar interests with her. She wants to learn more about the history and culture of Japan, as she feels that she does not know enough about it currently. Cassandra buys most of her clothing either on Amazon or H&M for their fast fashion options that they have. which are plentiful. She also is a coffee and tea drinker and goes to Starbucks every day to get either coffee or tea, depending on her mood. Cassandra also drives a Subaru. Now the competitors. First them being AmiAmi Store, Amiko AI Store Guide. AmiAmi is an online Japanese hobby shop which sells Japanese goods, figures, and media. They have 2 stores in Tokyo, Japan that are physical. One of their stores has an AI store guide that is based on their mascot character, Amiko. This store guide helps customers find what they're looking for in the store and can speak in Japanese or English to the customers. Second is the Hirosaki Nippota Float Festival. This is a festival that's held during the summer in Hirosaki, in Japan. Nippotas are massive floats depicting Japanese warriors, samurais, and such. They're basically giant lanterns and they're accompanied by flute and drum players while going through the town of Hirosaki. The third is Boss Display. Boss Display has created multiple exhibitions depicting the history and culture of different countries for the Columbus Museum of Art. One of them being their Cuba exhibit. This is one of the potential user interviews. And the second, and the third. I was also able to do a professional interview with Eric Burdock from COSI. He's their Senior Director of Experience Design. So he specializes in doing exhibit design, displays, such. After doing the user interviews, I was able to find that they all have common interests. They all buy fast fashion clothing, they all eat Japanese food, and they all want to learn more about Japanese culture and Japanese fashion. After doing the interviews, I've concluded that users all want to see Japanese culture and history in general, not cosplay or anime, which they are already familiar with. The product system or service should be something that informs them of what they don't know. And in doing so, it must be done in a more fun, inviting, and friendly way. When I came to this realization, I thought it might be a neat idea to do an action figure design and find some way to spice it up so that it's able to better cater to the needs of the users. Below are 2 examples of current action figure designs depicting Japanese culture. They are each by a Japanese brand called Figma. For the next steps, I'm going to do research on the toy industry to see if this new direction is really a viable option. I'm then going to update my document and process book to the new direction that I've come up with. And I will interview professionals in the toy industry. Thank you.